which Pac-12 players and coaches are under pressure to win now? Athlon Sports, I thought, had a great write-up this week from Kevin Borba, who talked about the pressure facing the Pac-12 this year. Because you have a situation in the Pac-12, obviously, where you are going to disintegrate one way or the other. I think most of us agree now that there really is no way to save or even revitalize the Pac-12 back to what it could have been.
Yeah.
So one of the notions is with SC and UCLA leaving the conference this year, who's under the most pressure? Who has to win now? And I think, without a doubt, I think it's Lincoln Riley and his staff at USC. Because undoubtedly, when you bring in this much talent, you have a ton of pressure to win. I think Lincoln Riley needs to win a national championship. To do that, he's got to do it right now. His easiest path is through the Pac-12, to the top of the Pac-12, not through the Big Ten. It's to the Pac-12. Jake, I think Lincoln Riley is under the most pressure in the Pac-12.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that, but I look around the Pac-12 and I think some of these teams that are on the bubble in realignment have some pressure to win. I think Kyle Whittingham, you have pressure to win right now because if you fizzle out, if your program starts to lose value, then all of a sudden maybe you aren't as attractive in the Big 12. But I think that we can't skip over the fact that Deion Sanders has done what Deion Sanders has done. And that is massive transfer portal numbers, all the hype, all these tickets sold. Like, on one hand, he doesn't have any pressure because nobody expects him to be a 10-win team, right? Like, nobody expects that. But on the other hand, if you go 1-11, let's say, that's going to hurt your realignment prospect. And I think that, this Pac-12 TV deal situation has just kept going. So as long as they don't have a deal, I think that keeps the pressure down a little bit, right? That keeps the pressure down on Prime. They don't have a deal. Great, we're going to the Big 12. But as soon as a deal is proposed and you're in that conversation, I think Prime needs to win because if Prime wins, they're going to be in a great place. They have all this value. They're building. They're one of those teams that we were just talking about that's kind of ascending. They're on the up and right path. So to me, I agree Lincoln's got the most pressure because he's got the facilities, he's got the money, he's got the talent. He's Lincoln Riley. Like, you have everything you need. But as far as the big picture in college football is concerned, I think Deion needs to win. If Deion could find a way to win 5 games, which won't happen, but if he found a way to win 5 games, that would be an absolute coup, and I think would add massive value to the Big 12 proposition for Colorado.
And see, I think it's Alex Grinch, the defensive coordinator at USC. That dude's got pressure. Wow. You give up 500 yards to Tulane and get embarrassed in a bowl game last year, and I don't care who checked out or who was disengaged, you're US flipping C. When you give up that kind of yardage and those kind of numbers to Tulane and lose, it is a shocking result. Not only that, but you restructured your staff defensively at USC. You brought in a hell of a lot more talent. You are a better football team this year than you were last year. You're certainly your linebacking core, your secondary is better than it was last year. If they are bad again, it's coaching. Period, point blank. And again, I rewind to the fact that Lincoln Riley needs a national championship. Lincoln Riley was brought to SC to win a national championship. Facts. And I don't think it was said, hey, we need you to win a national championship in the Big Ten. They said, we need you to win a national championship.
Yeah.
He has a path to do that right now at USC, and that's why I think it is him by far because, listen, let's be honest about Deion Sanders. As much hype as there is around Deion, expectations are very different than hype. Expectations are not built on hype. Expectations are built on talent. And Deion has a roster that severely lacks talent. So I don't see right now in the Pac-12 that there's a whole lot of pressure on Deion Sanders to win today. A year from now, different conversation. Today, I don't think there's that much. The other guy in this conference that I think has an enormous amount of pressure on him is Bo Nix. I think there's a lot of people shocked that Bo Nix went back to Oregon, and I agree with Athlon Sports. Bo Nix is one of the most high-profile players in the Pac-12. I think it is nearly impossible for Bo Nix to perform at the same level he did last year, week in and week out, injured or not, how in the hell did you go to Corvallis and lose that game to Oregon State? How did that happen, dude?
Dude.
I think Bo Nix has some wrongs to set right. And I don't mean from Auburn, because there are certainly some wrongs he set up at Auburn that could be fixed. But I'm talking about at Oregon. I think there is an enormous amount of pressure on Bo Nix and the boys at Oregon to win this conference, Jake, because you want to talk about expectations. There are college football playoff expectations at Oregon that I don't think exist in very many corners of this conference.
Yeah, by the way, let's pull up the revenue numbers again, right? Where's Oregon at for revenue in the country, right? They're one of the top teams, but they're not a top 5 team. Where are they at? They're chilling all the way down in 19th, bro. And by the way, they're the first team from the Pac-12 on this list. So yeah, Bo Nix might want to win some bigger football games, dude. Might want to find a way. And again, I know the Georgia loss isn't all on Bo Nix, but dude didn't exactly light it up against Georgia. So at some point, Bo Nix is going to have to show me that it's not just BYU he kicks the shit out of. It's actually like college football playoff teams that he goes out and beats.
But I think the other real question that you have to ask here about the Pac-12, and I'm curious what you guys think about this as we talk about which Pac-12 players and coaches have the most pressure. Was it Kenny Dillingham or was it Bo Nix? Because I think now Dillingham, who left, by the way, remember, went to Arizona State to be the head coach. Dilly. I think Bo Nix has to prove that it was Bo Nix and not the system. And I don't know that he can do that. Because, again, Bo Nix was so good last year that I don't see any way that Bo Nix can outplay Bo Nix from last year this year. How do you top that? Well, if you're Caleb Williams, well, you get more talent around you, significantly more talent around you, better offensive line, another year in the system for the rest of the offense. Okay, I can see you being better. Their defense will be better. That'll keep Caleb Williams on the field more. More opportunities to score points. More opportunities to get Heisman votes. You can see the path forward for Caleb Williams. I don't see that same path at Oregon. And frankly, I think the expectations are through the roof, dude.
And I think the thing that's really interesting about Bo Nix, when you look at numbers, if you're a stat geek, last year, he had the best year he's ever had. I mean, 294 completions is by far a career high at the college level. 409 attempts on 71% completion percentage. That's pretty damn good. 3,500 yards by far, over 1,000 more yards than he's ever done before, right? So, he had a good year last year, but I think the problem is in college football, when you have a good year, what happens? Because, football writer or soccer writer on the East Coast isn't watching you every week. So what do they hear? Oh, he had this great game and saw the highlights on SportsCenter. But what do teams like Georgia look for? They're not concerned about your big plays. They're concerned about your bad plays against teams that are worse than them, because they're going to take that INT that bad team stepped out of bounds on, and they're taking that thing to the house. And so it's not that Bo Nix has bad stats here at Oregon last year. It's that he just didn't live up to it in the big game. And again, Georgia wasn't all on him, but I think they had such a poor showing against Georgia that it was Oregon, hello. I know, what was that, week 1 I think they played him, or week 2?
Yeah.
Dude, I know it's early in the year, but you got smashed, bro. So, that's why I say, for players, yeah, Bo Nix is right at the top of the stack. But Lincoln Riley, I think, leads the way just because they have, A, it's SC, so just from a brand perspective, it's an expectation now. But B, you were brought in, as you said, for one purpose. That's it, dude. And you brought your quarterback with you. So there's no excuse.
Well, Kyle J makes an interesting point. Penix needs to have another big year. He should have went to the NFL.
Wow.
And, I think Washington, there's a couple of interesting schools in this league. I think the most fascinating team in this league is probably Utah. Can they do it again? Nobody believes they can. Nobody thinks they can. Nobody's paying attention. They can do it. They can do. You get Brant Keithy back, you get Cam Rising back, they can do it. I think Washington is incredibly, incredibly talented. And my biggest question about Washington, why did Penix Jr. come back? I think it is one of the great head scratchers in college football. Like, why did he come back? Why would you give up all that money? Why? You would have been, in my opinion, you would have been a first round pick.
Yeah, I think that he saw the momentum building with a guy like Anthony Richardson. I think he saw that, hey,
But would nobody's taking Richardson over Penix.
Oh, I think they were.
Really?
Come on. You want to know why? When's the last time a left-handed quarterback had huge success?
Well,
Tua's the only guy right now, right? And he's not really had huge success. You want to talk about a guy that's got pressure on him.
I mean, but Michael Penix threw for 4,600 yards, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, by statistics alone, he was the second best quarterback in the country.
Yeah.
That has to be worth something. I mean, it is, and I think he was one of the best quarterbacks in the country that nobody
completion percentage needs some love, bro. Only 65%. I know.
Okay.
I know. 4,600 yards, like 31 TDs, eight interceptions. I know. Great stats. I'm not saying he sucks. He's damn good. But I'm just saying, if you're Penix and you're left-handed and you're looking at this past draft, hey, man, like Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, like this was a deep quarterback draft. There's no doubt about that. So that's why I think he decided to come back, because he was like, yeah, if I can just replicate, I'll be in a great place.
Well, and it'll be him and Caleb Williams. I mean, those are going to be the guys that I don't think there's any question coming out that those will be the two guys. I just don't. I don't even know if. I mean, I don't even know who else it would be at this point. But I think it's a fascinating. But that's
kind of my point, right? I mean, even Caleb Williams is probably going to be a number 1 overall, number two overall guy.
I would think so. Yeah.
But if you're Penix, you're good with that, because now it's like, hey, I don't have 8 guys in front of me. I like Penix, if he has another great year, I mean, he could make the case to be a top 5 guy. You'd have to have a year.
But
he can make that case. And that's what I think he couldn't do this past year. This case was empty in this draft. There's no doubt.
Well, hey, man, when you bet on yourself and you win big. You win big, absolutely. And I think when you shop the 24-hour sale starting tomorrow at buckedup.com, and you use the promo code Monty, you get 20% off. And you realize that everything on the site tomorrow, buckedup.com, is 45% off at buckedup.com. Dudes, whether it is pre-workout, whether it is collagen peptides, BCAAs, buck bars, buck shots, buck bars, buckshot, it's amazing. I don't know how tomorrow's not the day that you dominate at buckedup.com. Use the promo code Monty to get 20% off. Tomorrow, June 15th, buckedup.com, everything is 45% off. All of their clothing, their legendary t-shirts, their legendary joggers, which are the best joggers in fitness, all of their BCAs. And again, you guys, I sit here every single day on this show and I rave about the buckshot.
Yeah.
I rave about it. And you guys know I got on the scale this morning, lost 2 more pounds. I've lost 25 pounds, and I give Bucked Up, hey man, I give Bucked Up a lot of credit for that, because between the buck bar and the buckshot, it absolutely helps me feel more energized. I am not eating nearly as much because the buck bar keeps me full. It has got the best proteins in it, and I show the label every day on the show. The whey protein isolate is the cleanest form. It's lactose-free protein. You look at the fact that it's awesome fuel for everything that you do, you guys. Not just working out. And hey, if you work out, buckedup.com's the best in the business. But if you're just a dude going into the office and you just had lunch and you're like, dude, I need a nap.
Come on, man.
Hit a buckshot, dude. Get yourself through the day. Sleep like a baby tonight. It's long-lasting, clean energy to help you get through your day, and it's 45% off at buckedup.com. Tomorrow, one of the best days of the year. One of the best days of the year at buckedup.com is tomorrow. Everything is 45% off, buckedup.com. Let's see, where are you guys at? Preston from Greensboro. Drake May, fantastic. Fantastic. If you're not excited about Drake May, you're not a college football fan.
His situation is a little different, though, right? Because he's a guy that did enough to build excitement, but now he's got to have that signature season where you just stand out, because he's a guy that's not playing at Oregon. He's not playing at SC. He's not playing at
not playing at a quarterback factory.
Yeah, and so when that's the case, I mean, again, it's not unheard of, right, that you would get to the league out of the ACC. That's not unheard of, obviously, at all. But I think when you're not, when you're not at a quarterback factory, dude, Drake, you got to have a year, bud. And I think if I'm an NFL prospect, or if I'm an NFL scout looking at prospects, all I care about is attempts, yards, and touchdown interception ratio. That's what I'm looking at.
I wonder if KJ Jefferson can turn into a legitimate.
He's got the talent.
Fucking right he does.
SEC now.
They're going to play big games. And again, I know you don't want to hear it. But you look at the top, if you look at the top 5 quarterbacks, it'd be Caleb Williams. I would put Penix Jr. number 2, Drake May number 3. Right? See, I would jump Penix Jr. to number 2 just because he was so elite. But then you get to Bo Nix or Drake May. Well, I'm taking Drake May every single day. I'm not a Bo Nix guy. I know what I know about Bo Nix at Auburn, and I want to see it again this year. I don't have to see it again this year on Drake May.
There's a lot of Baker Mayfield at the NFL level that I see in Bo Nix. I see a lot of that out of him.
That's interesting. What about Quinn Ewers at Texas? I mean, he is in the middle of a huge run that he needs. I mean, he's got to get more accurate and consistent. And maybe the word for Quinn is consistency across the board.
Yeah.
Quinn just needs to be more consistent all the time in everything he does, whether it's taking a dump or throwing a football. That's probably a bad example. But my point is, he just needs to be more consistent, man.
Yeah.
That's what he needs to be. And there's a couple of other guys like Jordan Travis, Riley Leonard. I think there's a bunch of really good quarterback stories. But I am not for a second putting Penix behind Drake May.
Yeah.
And I think this is one of those things that we can all argue about, but I think the world of Michael Penix Jr., and I'm still to this day shocked that he went back to Washington. But you know what, Preston from Greensboro? You're not wrong about Drake May.
Yeah.
You are not wrong about Drake May in any form or fashion.
Certainly Drake May is going to have the chance to have big numbers in the ACC. No question about it.
But and I also think when you play at North Carolina football is not invisible. It's not UConn football.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just not elite.
It's not Washington football.
But again,
it's not SC football.
But again, you're not playing in the SEC. You're playing in the ACC.
Right.
And I think for a quarterback, that's a damn good thing, dude. That is a good thing, man.
Because I think the other thing that, and again, I'm not trying to be a hater, and I look at Drake May and I look at his he's clocked right now at 4.55 in the 40, which is really respectable. Really respectable. The problem is I want him to run more.
Yeah.
I want him to run more because a guy, and this is what makes Caleb Williams so elite. Mm-hmm. And Caleb, I think when you're the best of the best, and I don't think anybody watching this show or anybody in this country doubts the fact that Caleb Williams is the best quarterback in the country.
Facts.
Caleb Williams runs for effect. Caleb Williams runs because he wants to be a better passer. So he runs and he moves to help himself be a better passer.
Yeah.
And I think Drake May's in that box. Penix, I also wonder about Penix's durability because I think that's also a huge thing. But I just want to see more consistency.
Yeah.
I want to see more consistency. Really, all of these guys, with the exception of Caleb Williams and Michael Penix Jr., have things to prove.
Yep.
Have things to prove. And the only other thing that I will say about North Carolina is you're coming off of a 9-5 season. And your schedule is not difficult. You're playing South Carolina, Appy State, Minnesota at home the first 3 weeks of the year. You should be 3-0.
Mm-hmm.
At Pitt, well, you're going to get kicked in the balls. That's a tough game to win, and I don't care who you are. Syracuse, Miami, Virginia are your next 3. Miami, I don't know. Isn't Miami better this year?
They're supposed to be better.
Right? By the way, somebody told me that Miami is a big draw to the Big Ten.
Well, I think when you look at UCF, a Florida presence in the Big 12, obviously, the SEC's got Florida. The ACC's got Florida. The Pac-12 does not have Florida, obviously. Big 10 needs Florida, dude.
Virginia at Georgia Tech, Campbell, Duke at Clemson, at North Carolina State to end the season. That's not a hard. That's a 10-win schedule.
That's a if you got receivers, that's a 4,000-yard schedule.
That's a 10-4 schedule when you have a stud like Drake May.
Yeah.
Right? Get in the comments on it. Tell me I'm wrong about that. Because I don't think it is. Kyle J says, good job, Monty. Thanks.
Hey, Monty.
Thanks. Facts. Bucked up creatine is fire. Well, I'm telling you guys, dude, tomorrow, Bucked Up is
what do you
their
bench?
Entire site. Buckedup.com, 45% off.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. Big Bad Brass Bulls. Is that Bucked Up sale only on their website, or can you go into their store too? It's on their website, buckedup.com. And it's worth it because their pricing online is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And to take 45% off of it, phenomenal. Let's see. Salty Drunk. How much weight does the Dame to Sons rumor have? Significant weight.
Yeah.
Significant weight.
Yep.
Gary Godoroff. SEC, Big 10, Big 12. Those are Power 5. I would agree.
I disagree. The ACC is not a Power 5, dude. I think the ACC is a Power 5.
The ACC is a Power 5, but it's not deep. I mean, if we're being
basketball, it's deep.
It is, but if you look at if you look at the Atlantic, it's Clemson and Florida State. And I would think that NC State, Louisville, I mean, you can't go 500. You can't be a 4-win team in conference and be like, oh, we're legit. No, you're not. No, you're not. And in the Coastal, Carolina, Pitt, Duke won 9 games last year, but Duke is in football tends to be
up and down, yeah.
Right? I mean, I would expect Miami to be far better. I would expect them to be a 7-win team this year.
Yeah.
I mean, but the ACC is not great in football. No. And I don't think and I'm not certainly saying anybody's trying to make that case. Oh, hey, it's Taylor Gilstrap.
Yeah, hey, Gilstrap.
What's up, Gilstrap? We were talking about you earlier.
Yeah.
So what's the new conference name if the Big 12 goes to 16 to 20 teams? They're going to call it the Gilstrap.
Can you measure it?
Carlos Knuckles says Penix ahead of Williams.
Nah,
bro.
Dude.
Nah,
no,
can't
don't
say
get
that.
Crazy, dude.
Can't say that. Outside the echo chamber, Keaton going to surprise. You mean Slovis? Dude.
Nah.
And look, again, we've
That's
talked
the
about
untrained
this.
eye.
And I know we're going to talk about this ad nauseum during the football season. Keaton Slovis has to show us that he's got the intestinal fortitude to stand and deliver in big moments.
Yeah.
And that he can be accurate inside and outside of the pocket. That's it, because their schedule is ball
Do they have
breaking.
an offensive line?
Their schedule, you guys, and
Ow!
dude, if you have not seen BYU's schedule, I don't know how you survive it. And I'm not even being sensational. Okay, Sam Houston, Southern Utah. Okay, 2-0. Arkansas, at Kansas, Cincinnati, at TCU, home for Texas Tech, at Texas, at West Virginia. West Virginia is dreadful. Iowa State, Oklahoma, at Oklahoma State. You've got to end the season Oklahoma at Oklahoma State.
Ain't ducking, no smoke.
Dude, that is...
Good luck. Good luck.
Are they even bowl eligible?
No.
And we're relying on Keaton Slovis to be something that he has never been before.
How often is Cody Epps open and doesn't get the ball?
Or gets the ball thrown behind him? Because Cody Epps, again, and I know we're going to talk about Cody a lot on this show. I'm a massive Cody Epps believer. Massive.
Dude's training his ass off.
The guy is an All-American. I'm telling you, waiting to bloom. Does he have a quarterback who can get him the ball? And were they better off? With Cade Finnegan being the starting quarterback? I don't know, and I don't think we're ever going to know.
Yeah.
Could Jacob Conover have been the guy? I don't know.
Is that a real question?
And now we're never going to know. We're never going to know.
Yeah.
It's as simple as
the
that.
reality of it.
It's as simple as that. I don't think we'll ever know. Carlos says, I doubt Caleb is the best. Michael is durable. Have you seen Caleb Williams play football? There is no doubt. And I'm not even being a dick about it, as I usually am. I'm not even being that dude. Today. Caleb Williams is not close. He's the best quarterback in the country.
You have to be nice to stupid people.
He might be the best football player in the country. I said football. I didn't say quarterback. I said football player. Because he's smart. He's athletic. He is physical. And I think he really enjoys playing quarterback. And, oh, by the way, you may have heard this. They're really talented at SC.
He's no Shador, but he'll do.
He'll do. I'm telling you now, dude. Yeah. John Cortez. Bo Nix against Texas Tech. Who Oregon ran off that pressure? We'll find out. Are you a Bo Nix believer?
Not really. No.
Okay.
Nope.
So you think it was Dillingham?
Yeah, I do. Okay. I think it was a system for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Goderoff, what's up? SEC teams just reload. Yeah, they do. Cowboy Country, what's up? I saw the Alamo Bowl last year, and Penix is the real deal. Washington also had a ton of receivers this year. Between NIL money and the prospect of going to the playoffs, that's why Penix came back. Had to be.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's getting paid. I'm sure he's getting paid.
Well, he's getting paid one way or the other, right?
Lamont Tucker says, Monty, stop it. It's Clemson only. The ACC already crowned Clemson.
Only Clemson?
Only Clemson.
In God's name, image, and likeness.
I hate Clemson. Gilstrap. I approve of the conference name change to Big Gilstrap.
What's up, big bro?
Royal Blue Saguaro. Great test for A-Rod. If A-Rod can turn Slovis around, then he's gone. Well, can he turn Slovis around, though? Royal Blue says BYU is 47th in strength of schedule. But again,
that's pretty good when you're looking at nationally.
But here's the question I ask. How good is Oklahoma State this year?
I don't know.
Is Oklahoma just the shit show they were last year?
3/4 of this is inaccurate.
Or can they actually figure out how to play softball on a football field?
I'm a man!
Or, let's get crazy, is Oklahoma State actually, going to be the Mullets team again, and they're going to win games?
That's not what we're about.
Because I think those two teams are huge. Is Texas going to live up to the expectation? Well, what a dumb question.
Because it's garbage.
How badly is Texas going to miss the expectations this year?
Vince Young ain't coming back.
Right? Because Texas, everybody believes Texas, the second most earning school in the entire flipping country. Texas plays at Alabama week 2. We're going to find out real quick. Rice at Alabama, Wyoming. There will be 2-1 because they're losing to Alabama. At Baylor, Kansas, Oklahoma. At Houston, BYU. K-State. At TCU, Iowa State, Texas Tech.
Damn.
Their schedule's cake.
Go Tide!
How many really difficult games are on there? Alabama, Baylor is going to be a good game. I think Baylor's going to bounce back in a big way. I think Baylor is embarrassed at being sub 500. Baylor will be back. Kansas ain't going anywhere. Oklahoma, Houston won't be good in football. BYU won't be good in football. K-State. Then I think the TCU game and the K-State game are testers. And I think you beat Iowa State at Iowa State and Texas Tech at home. And I think I think there's a chance they're a 2-loss team.
Yeah.
I think they're going to lose to Alabama. Can they beat Baylor at Baylor? And can they beat TCU at TCU?
No.
Because that's the game of the year.
You can beat Baylor. You're not beating TCU.
I think you're probably right.
Yeah. You're not beating TCU.
I think you're probably right. So I think they're
You're losing to Alabama, and you're losing to Sonny.
I think that's a 3-loss team.
Yeah.
I think that's a 3-loss team. I'm really, really concerned about that Texas Tech game.
Yeah, that's always an ass kicker.
3-loss team. Should probably be a 2-loss team. Like if you're a Texas fan, you lose to Alabama. Okay, it's at Tuscaloosa. We took them to the wire last year.
Nick Saban is a better man than you are.
Sark's an asshole. Okay, we get it.
Yeah.
You lose to Texas Tech? If you're Sark and let me ask you this. You lose 3 games. Alabama at TCU, home for Texas Tech. You lose those 3 games. Do you lose your job?
No. It's a good year.
You're not going to the college football playoff.
Yeah, you are.
No, fuck no.
Yeah, you are.
No.
In the expanded version?
That doesn't start. Wait. Now you got me.
Am I tripping? Was it 2 years away still?
Dude, they're not going to the college football playoff on 3 losses. They are not. Okay.
Telling you.
They're not going to. I think that's next year. Next year. Expanding in 2024.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. You're right. Okay.
Punch you in the face.
Ow!
Anyway, the point is, I'm telling you right now, if they lose 3 games, I think he gets whacked. Those 3 games.
Yeah.
Those 3 games. That's just me. That's just me. I think the other guy, no, we're not doing a Texas football show right now. I know it always turns into that, but,
Yeah.
Randomness, 873. How much longer does Sark have at Texas? I give it 2 years. Tops. Tops. You can't lose. Dude, that loss to Bama last year, that was the one that dude, that could have put you on the map, dude. That could have put you you lose to TCU and Texas Tech again, dude. Elaine Train says horns down. What do you call it when Deion Sanders makes fun of you? Prime ribs. Where's the Kawhi laugh?
Filling in for somebody.
Kyle J. Texas is going to go USC route and throw a ton of money at a big name coach. Well, wasn't he that coach?
And by the way, isn't that what every program does now?
And they have an amazing coaching staff there. Like, they insulated the stupidity of Steve Sarkisian, and they're still going to lose 3 games.
That's what everyone does except West Virginia, right? I mean, West Virginia is never going to change a coach.
That's all I'm saying. I just
enjoy the ride, Bob.
I don't know. And you guys tell me. But I don't know how they go undefeated this season. That would be a stunning.
Yeah.
That'd be a stunning upset. If Steve Sarkisian in Texas went undefeated, could you guys imagine that? The eye patch says tough crowd if you lose 3 games and get fired, but expectations. If you look at the 2022 Texas football, if you look at that schedule and you start to realize they should have been better. You're okay losing 20-19 to Bryce Young. You're okay with that. You're not okay with the 37-34 loss in Lubbock. You're fucking Texas.
Garbage.
You don't lose to Texas Tech. And you don't lose to Oklahoma State.
Because it's garbage. I'm a man.
Right? And you don't lose to TCU 2 years in a row when you're going to lose to Tech 2 years in a row.
That's not what we're about.
All hat.
No cattle. And oh, by the way, the Alamo Bowl ain't quite getting it done.
Kiss my butt.
So I know it's crazy. But if he loses Alabama, TCU, and Texas Tech again, tell me they don't want to fire him.
Sure, they already do want to fire Buddy.
They will burn DKR to the fucking ground if they lose the whole thing. Right? Like they will burn that thing to the ground if he loses those 3 games again.
Where's the Italian?
And tell me I'm wrong. Do you understand the and God damn it,
make you feel responsible.
it's Texas.
Yeah.
They're not. Truck Stop Gumby says cow turd.
Hey, cow turd.
Gary Goodroff says Jakey 2 holes when he is 60. Does he gain an extra hole?
Ow!
That would hurt. Callahan says Okie State owns Texas just like K-State owns Oklahoma. Okay. Clayton Keown says no way he gets fired. Watch him. Because they already don't like him. Should have started Manning. Could have blamed it on Manning. Could have blamed it on Manning. Could have blamed it on Manning. But
Well,
no.
you guys made me start good old Arch, and, he was terrible, so.
Should have started Cooper Manning. Start any of the Mannings.
Cooper, Archie, your mom, dude.
Gilstrap says football.
Football. I mean, come on, man. It's Texas. We play football out here.
The eye patch says Texas was robbed versus. Stop. They were not robbed. It's called Bright.
Dude, what are we doing? I mean, what do you mean they were robbed, bro?
Stupid-ass question.
Did you see Bryce Young?
You're filling in for somebody. Boom.
When a game comes down to a kid making a play, it's LSU going for it in overtime against Alabama. It's fucking Bama. You don't get beat by the officials when it's down to the last play by Bryce Young. It's Alabama.
Roll Tide.
It's Alabama. It's not the officials. You lost to Alabama. You lost to Bryce Young. You didn't lose to the official. You got beat by Bryce Young.
The dynasty is not over.
That's right, because no.
How dare you?
I am not playing your game today, sir.
Kiss my butt.
I think I already did play. I think I already played your game.
Football.
Random says TCU is the biggest program in Texas in the last decade.
Okay, the comment's already disqualified because it says program.
I don't know what a program is.
Yeah, I don't know what a program is. So, as far as I'm concerned, you're that team up north right now, okay?
It's funny watching Jake pad while he finds the drop.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey.
Dude, he's got over 200 drops on that thing.
No. It's like 600 now.
Is it really?
Oh, yeah. We just entered page 19 yesterday.
Wins parade.
Good luck. Yeah, wins parade. Tom Dean, we're into the 3rd hour. Monty's not supposed to rant. Yeah. Can you... Son of a...
It's fucking Alabama.
It is, but that's my point. I love when people are like, oh, the officials stole it. Fuck no. It's Alabama. Go play intramurals, brother.
Dude.
You want to complain about the officials? Go play intramurals.
Go play intramurals, brother.
Right? It's Alabama. It's Bryce Young, by the way. Bryce Young's a better man than you are.
Nick Saban is a better man than you are.
And by the way, this is Texas. This is what they do every year.
They're the Dallas Cowboys of college football, bro.
Oh, bro, the horns look really good this year. I was in the store getting some Natty Light, and the cashier was talking to his manager, and he was saying that Ewers is going to have a career year. Their brothers shovel shit together on the farm, and Ewers looks like a steer.
A steer?
What do you bench?
That's all I got. Salty Drunk says, I miss the Tanner voice. So do I.
I don't even think Buddy's here today.
So do I. Lamont Tucker says Texas is overrated and they haven't been relevant in the Big 12. Well, there is that. Go Black. What's up, dude? Go Tigers. Monty, I think Notre Dame goes 8-4 this year.
Dude. You say things like that.
You haven't been here in like a month.
Hey, look here, man.
And your first comment is, I think Notre Dame goes 8-4? You couldn't
You're
just,
a douche.
Can I get a reach around first? Like you couldn't just say, hey, Monty.
Hey, Monty.
Happy to be back on the show, Graham. By the way, Notre Dame's going 8-4.
Just take it nice and easy, okay? Just relax.
couldn't at least, go full Bob Kraft with it before, you made the Notre Dame comment?
Couldn't roll in with hey, Monty, Drew Pine's going to be an All-American at ASU. That would have been better than, hey, Monty, looks like Notre Dame's going 8-4.
I mean, you couldn't have rolled out the old washcloth routine before you gave that straight pipe job with that comment? Come on, dude. Come on, bro.
How dare you?
Dude, we don't talk Notre Dame on this show for this exact reason.
Come on now. Football.
We don't. We're not gonna. I'm not doing it. Kyle A says, how about them Golden Knights? Won the Stanley Cup. By the way, real quick before we get to the NBA, here on the Monty program.
Hey, Monty.
Did you guys realize what happened last night when the Golden Knights won the Stanley Cup?
Bonnie, please.
We're officially in a dead period.
Damn it.
We ain't got no football.
Damn it.
We ain't got no hoops.
Damn it.
We ain't got no frozen pucks.
Damn it.
No basketball, no football, no hockey. But we do got them Ford Mustangs. We got NASCAR. We got base. No, we don't. No. The Cubs are terrible. Isn't that the Korean radio call from the World Baseball Classic? That's Ohtani hitting a home run. And the best part of that, and you don't even have it on there, is when the guy yells Ohtani, son.
Yeah.
Just loses his mind. So let me get this right. No baseball because the Cubs are terrible.
Yeah.
No football, no hockey, no basketball.
How?
I don't know what we do.
Jump on Netflix.
I'm kidding. I love baseball. I'm a pissed off Cubs fan. This time of year, what do you guys watch? Because for me, it's all baseball and NBA draft. But what is it you guys are watching right now? Like, I'm thrilled for the U.S. Open. Super stoked for that to tee off tomorrow.
Yeah.
Bryson DeChambeau.
It's going to be in the fescue.
I'm telling you, watch him. You watch Bryson. I think him, they say that Bryson DeChambeau could legitimately be the first guy to average 400 yards off the tee on par fives.
Bro.
400 yards. I think golf is huge for me. But I can't wait for August and fall camp. We're a month away from Big 12 Football Media Day in Dallas. We'll be there.
Yeah. Stoked
for those 2 days. But we're pretty much in a dead period now. What are you guys watching? Jeremy Calzone says Apple TV Silo. It's awesome.
Okay, so you're an Apple TV guy. Okay.
You're an Apple TV guy.
How's the MLS package?
Apple TV
package.
Okay, that's cool. Scooter Texas says, what are we watching? Watching the grass grow and the mercury rise. Exactly right.
In the Monty program.
The showroom, please.
Yeah.
YouTube Rec says nobody watches the WNBA. I don't know about nobody. C. Kaufman says WeatherTech Sports Car Championship IMSA. Yes,
IMSA's
sir.
awesome, dude.
Let's go Corvettes. The eye patch, Wimbledon and the French Open. Stop.
Okay, Guy, you're testing me now.
Stop it. Josh says MLB and college football game replays. Dude, you need to get laid. J.K. Marshall, women's beach bikini volleyball. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Can we And you guys know I enjoy myself some lines and some gambling and whatnot. Can we get a line on the string bikini league? Royal Blue Saguaro, Wimbledon coming up. Okay. Freddie Navarra. Freddie. How have I never seen your show? Great show, fellas. Thank you, Freddie.
Appreciate that, bro.
Appreciate that. Salty Drunk Greg, not an Australian Norman, is suggesting there will still be exclusive LIV tournaments. Is that true? They're saying, and Bryson DeChambeau said that there will still be a full schedule next year on the Live Golf Tour.
Yeah, I think this is something that people are getting a little bit tripped up on is because of the messaging around, hey, live and PGA merger, and what is that? That verbiage makes it feel like live's not going to exist anymore, and that's just completely not true.
I think for this year and next year it will exist, because one of the things that was pointed out is they have contracts signed with courses and clubs to play events. And I get it. I get it. The PIF, do you guys know what that is, the PIF? The Saudi Arabian Public Investment Fund has trillions in it. But nobody likes giving free money away.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody. So we'll see about that. Let's see. Shooter, Texas. Monty and Joyce Alliance. What is this Miami club in the 80s? Exactly right. Exactly right. Lopes Van Gabe. I need more episodes of Silo, Severance, Shrinking, and Last of Us in my life. ASAP. Dude, Mrs. Monty and I were sitting around talking about this last night. Like, who's got time? Like, we've watched a couple of shows on Netflix recently. But if you golf one time over the weekend, that's all over with.
Yeah.
Like, for me, my off time, I work so much, my off time is over.
Yeah.
Like, I go to the bathroom and it's like, damn, time to go to bed.
Yeah,
like,
better take the water cup up and lay down.
Going to the driving range tonight after the show. I'll blink and it'll be 9:00. It's like, I just don't have time for that. I truly don't. Truck Stop Gumby. For a moment, I thought Monty was talking about snow lines. No. Do you guys?
You fucking donkey.
You guys know, and I say this a lot, and I think people think I'm joking. I've never even smoked weed. I've never done I've never done a line of ayahuasca either. I know it's a tea you drink. We get it.
Dude, can you stop triggering everybody, dude?
Please.
Cocaine and hookers, my friend.
Exactly. Brady Cook says, watching golf. Me too. OG Gary, in Brooks' name and image and likeness. Okay.
In God's name, image, and likeness.
Big Daddy Magic, WWE players. I love bikinits of volleyball. Bikini Beach. Okay. I am not a wrestling guy anymore.
Wrestling.
That's when I was wrestling. Saguaro, COD playoffs start tomorrow. Let's effing go. I miss Call of Duty.
Me too.
I miss it so much. I hate being an adult. OG Gary, I exclusively watch YouTube videos. I don't watch shows or on streamers. Oh, really?
How many of you YouTube viewers out there watch like movies and stuff on YouTube? Because I just realized that the other day. I know it sounds crazy, right? Because we YouTube every day. I had no idea that YouTube was expanding its offering into movies and all kinds of stuff like that, which I think is absolutely brilliant.
I think it's absolutely brilliant as well. I don't know why YouTube doesn't just control national security as well. Like, I mean, give them the defense budget.
Yeah.
Let them fight wars. We'll hire Gilstrap. Who's coordinating the Western Front? Sir, yes, sir. General Gilstrap, sir. Who says the only thing Monty is hooked on is getting bucked up. Exactly right. And donuts. Monty was trained to say that in confession. Sir, may I have another, sir? Thank you, sir. Dude, I've said some whack shit in confession.
Janus.
As a young Catholic, oh my God. I have vivid memories as a young Catholic boy.
Whoa.
Okay,
Whoa,
stop.
dude, bro.
Stop.
Waves in opposition.
So we're watching Ricky Gervais do the opening monologue for the Golden Globes like 5 years ago, whenever that was. He was talking about how it's a huge year for the pedophile movies. Like 2 popes.
Dude.
His cock.
That was so funny. But anyway, I have vivid memories of going to confession as a Catholic child and being like, damn, dude, I don't think I did anything wrong. And I can remember sitting there. I thought mean thoughts about my sister. God, please forgive me. Hail Mary, full of grace. May I slap that bitch in the face.
Ain't no reset.
I have so many memories of. Do you guys want to know what kind of terrible Catholic I was? I used to steal the. I should not.
Look,
say,
LeAngelo, relax.
I should not say this out loud. I used to steal the body of Christ because I was hungry. You know,
Okay,
like
you
the
mean the
wafer.
little bread.
The wafer. And they did not taste good.
No, they taste terrible.
I used to eat like 5, 6 of them at a time.
Dude, what?
Because it was my job to put them in the bowl. It was my job to put them in the bowl. Used to have grape juice for the kids? Hell yes, I drank from the bottle. I was such a bad
Dude's
Catholic.
backstage, you know, uncapping the grape juice, just chugging it with 2 hands.
I'm telling you, me and my guy, I think his last name was like
Gilstrap.
Brian Gill and me. We were like the cohort altar boys at this massive Catholic church in Evanston, Illinois. And it was my job to put the wine and the body of Christ, the wafers into the bowl. Yeah, dude, I would eat the wafers. I'd be like, oh, okay, pour those out. And like, Halloween candy. Let me sort this Halloween candy. You know,
that
and then it's
motherfucker
like,
don't miss.
And
man.
it was quite legitimately. I remember the cold glass bottles of grape juice, and I'd be like, I don't care, man. You know, I need the blood of Christ in me.
Yeah.
I was such a bad Catholic. Oh my God. Oh my God, I was a terrible Catholic. Tom Dean says Monty 2 hands. Dude, double fisting with the body of Christ. OG Gary says Christ cookies.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Clint Mose, this is why PAC doesn't add religious schools.
Hey.
Oh, Mike Phillips, I ate sacrament bread as a young Mormon. Tasty white Wonder Bread, pre-blessing.
Yeah.
Tom Dean, me. Monty, have you ever smoked pot? Monty, smoked? No. No.
It's ridiculous.
No. I have not. And here's the thing, though. So, real quick. On the pot thing, I've seen so many people have bad reactions to weed. Like in Phoenix, we had like a little sit around the table and play card night at a neighbor's house. And they all did like these gummy edible things and fucking went to sleep. And I was like, this is not the life I want to live. I wanted sex that night until Mrs. Monty was asleep. Off the they're all like, yeah, like imagine like a rave, and they just throw gummies in the air and everybody's like, ah, and then they eat the gummy and it's like, and the music's still going, right? And everybody's just like, they're like disco cat, right? And then all of a sudden it's like asleep. Done. That's why I don't smoke weed. That's why I don't do edibles. That's why I don't do drugs. It just has never been my thing. J.K. Marshall says Jakey 2 bongs.
Yeah.
And the other issue with it is, in all seriousness, smoking weed makes you hungry.
At Papa Murphy's, we do more than just pizza. We do meatballs and marinara.
Papa Murphy's does meatballs?
Oh, I think you mean I do the meatballs and marinara?
And how do you do it, Dad?
How do I do it?
How do we do it? Oh, well, we do it with savory ground beef
Covered in tangy marinara. That's how, honey.
At Papa Murphy's, we make great pizza.
And don't forget the meatballs.
Order now at papamurphys.com.